Today we're going to make a MOGRT so that you can put titles in your reel and have areas to edit them. So mine will ultimately look like this. And if you look right now, I have text scrolling and I've added an extra mask in Premiere. You might be familiar with doing a mask in Premiere. If I go ahead and delete this, you do a mask by clicking the title and then grabbing a square, dragging it over. This is kind of a lot of work to sit there and mask everything individually and have your words scroll up and have to do this each time because these masks don't really copy properly in Premiere. So instead, we'll show you how to do it all in After Effects. So I based this on my design here, that I want it to go ahead and appear and say what we've done or what I do in class. If I just want this bottom part, there's a way to do that as well. I have it masked through a solid right now, but I can definitely change that. So what I'm going to do is save as. I could also copy a composition because in my essential graphics, I do have the option to pick different compositions. I, however, find that sometimes when it's early and I'm doing a bunch of stuff and trying to do different titles that I accidentally might save over something, and I've seen students do that a lot. So instead, I made these files. I went ahead and call it MOGRT Prep, so that they're two different After Effects files. Some of you might not think this is useful. You might want to keep everything for your motion graphics in one project and just make different compositions. That's fine. But what I'm going to do is get rid of everything I don't want in the MOGRT. If you click on it and you see that double blink, that means it's locked. So I'll lock everything and delete what I don't need. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this background solid as well. I know we talked about most of the time you don't want to set a background color because it doesn't export. In this case, if I wanted to still be able to see my text, I change the background color and this background color will not export into my MOGRT. As I want to look at this mask shape, and I want to draw something that's about the same size. I could get my rulers out if I want to measure it. You think, why don't I just draw a mask on the text path? Because since it's on this animated layer, it will just move with it. So that doesn't help us. Instead, what I want to do is called a track matte. So with nothing selected, I'm going to click off everything, and instead of making a mask, I'm going to make a shape path. So let me click this, and I'll draw my shape. Instead of going through and trying to add a mask to this area, I'm using this to mask another layer, and I have to do that using what's called a track matte. So I'm going to switch my toggle mode in my text here, delete my mask because I no longer need that. I'm going to say my shape layer is the mask. And now, when I play, it goes like that. Yay! However, I don't think that I need all this. Instead, I'm going to go through, click and drag over the other text, and delete it because I really only want this one pass for my MOGRT. Because of that, I probably want to go through here and delete some of those keyframes. So I had some transform keyframes, but it's only these first 4 that are animating that part. So I'm going to delete those other 4. From here, if you don't have it, open up your Essential Graphics template. I think when I default opened mine up, it was about here. I thought this made this area smaller, so I moved it. If you don't have it at all, you go to Windows and Essential Graphics. I'm going to click and drag mine back over here. I like it over there. And there's a couple things we want to do to export this MOGRT. For one, we've made sure we got rid of all the other layers. Great. We're going to set the poster time. It's going to look at what time this goes, how far it is. So we set our poster time. If we want to see the options we can drag to the MOGRT, we can also hit this solo support properties. Now, there's some things you think you might want to drag in that you don't. And there's some things you'll think, oh, I should definitely not drag this in, that you might want to. So for here, the position you don't want to drag in. You're going to notice you'll get an error. It says keyframes on the controls will be ignored in Premiere Pro when the composition is exported as a motion graphics template. So that will actually get rid of my animation. So I don't want that area. The only thing I'm looking at editing is the source text. The rest of it I want to happen, but I don't want to give them the option to edit, or I don't want to give myself the option to edit. So I just click and drag the source text and I put it on here. This is what that area will be called. So I don't want it to say animation, video, graphics. This is telling them what to fill in. Instead, I'll call this title. I'll default with the animation, video, motion, graphics just to show it. And then I'm going to go through and edit our properties. I want to be able to adjust the font size. I want to be able to enable the font styles so that I can maybe turn on bold or italic or anything like that. And if I wanted to be able to change the font, maybe I decide I want to use one of the other fonts that I've been using in these projects, I can. And I'll hit OK. From here, I'm going to, once I have everything set, export my motion graphic template. The project needs to be saved first. Do I do it? Yep. And I can save it to a couple different areas. I could save it to my library if I want to set up a library. I could save it to my local template folder, which is where all the local templates in this are. So if I want this to always be on the local template folder and anyone else can use it, I could save it there. If I want it in my libraries, I could put it there. So I'll go ahead and show you where it is in local template, just because I know a lot of people forget and leave the defaults on. And maybe I say like, oopsie. I'll put those words in, so if I search them for keywords, I'll find that. Now, this is in my graphics template in Premiere. So let's say I don't want to do this way. Maybe I just want to have the scroll and have it edit. I can go into my graphics template. These are the couple examples I've done, so I'll have to go through and kind of delete a couple, right? But here's my bottom title reel with mask. I put that in. I did extend it a little too long. I would probably delete this one and keep my bottom reel with mask that I set the time on, because I just left the whole composition here, a little wasteful. But now it scrolls in, it scrolls out. If I click on it, I can move the position, but it doesn't get rid of the animation. Now it'll go and do that. And if I wanted a graphic or something under it so I could read it easier, I just do the same thing. I click in another area. I'll draw that bar that I want for it. So it resets. That was unique. Over. And I can change some of the settings. Maybe I want to go ahead and make it white. Maybe I want to change the opacity. And scroll down, do that. I know it's still above this one, but when I move it under, it should be all right. And if I don't love the position of it once I do that, I can always do some adjustments. I may want to adjust it to line it up with that area, so it looks like it's going in and out of the bar. There we are. And that's how you make a MOGRT.